Robert AWOL, the voice of the jungle, broadcasting on the DVC to all points unknown. If you're within the sound of my voice, you're listening to Welcome Home Podcast on the DVC.
Hello and welcome home. This episode of Welcome Home is brought to you by DVC Resale Market. Thank you for joining us on episode 332 of Welcome Home, a Disney Parks and Vacation Club podcast. I'm Tom, here with Trevor. How's it going, Trevor?
Hey, so yeah, like I was saying, because we were literally in conversation, and we're just going to pick this up.
This happens. This happens sometimes where Trevor and I are talking, and we have to stop talking before the recording because it's like, no, show. we need to go on the show.
Yeah, exactly. So
off the show.
Yeah. As I was saying, we're getting down to the last couple of weeks before Christmas, and I haven't wrapped any gifts yet.
Nor have I.
For me, this is a little bit behind because usually I try and have all my stuff wrapped and everything by first week of December. So I'm running a little bit late, but it's just because we've had stuff going on. But yeah, like you is, we're kind of hitting that point where it's work is winding down, but I'm getting busy at home with, just things that need to be done before Christmas. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So I got a lot of home projects going on right now, a lot of home projects. And then my wife was like, "Hey, can you bake your, because I bake really, I like to bake, and I bake I bake really good chocolate chip cookies, right? And it's one of my specialties, Trevor. So my wife's like, "Hey, can you bake some chocolate chip cookies? I want to give them out to the after school teachers, where my daughter goes to after school, and maybe some of her regular teachers, and so on and so forth." I was like, "All right." But it's I got some furniture to build, Trevor. I got I got projects all over this house that I got to work on. So it's I got just so much stuff going on. But yeah, it's like you said, it's the year's winding down. I think everybody is. It's been. I don't want to say it's been quieter in my real life and at work because it hasn't, but it's been a little bit quieter than it was. But
I feel like it's been steady, right?
Yeah,
that's how I would put it. Is that things haven't been quiet for the last couple of months. It's been steady. There's been a constant stream of stuff to do, which, makes it hard, right? When you're, we have plans. I know, you just did your trip, we talked about last week, but it's that kind of stuff kind of disrupts the flow of everything else. And then it's when you come back, it's like exactly what you were talking about. It's oh, I've got a bunch of stuff that I was putting off because I had a trip or whatever. And now it's you have to kind of go through the backlog of everything we're ignoring. Yeah.
We have literally, I've talked about this before on the podcast, but my parents have been divorced and remarried since I was in fifth grade. Right. So I have three sets of family. I have, two for my side, and then of course my wife's family. Right. And so during this time of year, they all come to visit us, obviously. Right. And so we have in rapid succession, all of them coming to our house in one of them leaves in the morning and then another one's coming in the afternoon that day. You know what I mean? That's the kind of turnover we got coming around during the holidays.
It's almost a Clark Griswold level thing that you're doing. Yep.
Yeah.
I get it.
Except my daughter doesn't have to sleep with her brother because she doesn't have one. So
that makes it easier. Yeah.
Yeah, it does. And I don't have all the lights all over my house. Although, so I have wanted to. Not yet, right? I've always wanted to do it. Honestly, I just don't have the time to do it. It's such a time-consuming thing. I've always wanted to do it. I also feel though I would be Clark Griswold in this particular way though. I would fall several times from heights, right? Or almost fall. I wouldn't have the luck of Clark Griswold of not injuring myself severely, But I'm not allowed on the roof. My wife does not allow me on the roof, so roof is not happening ever. Right. But other places I could do.
We relegated ourselves to I'm the same way. I don't deal well with getting up on the roof. It's the whole thing of falling, but also for me, it's a weird thing where I guess I am afraid of heights, but it's I can get on a roller coaster, I can get on rides and stuff. And because that's a secured environment, it's fine.
Yeah.
But as soon as I get up on the roof or on a ladder, to put up lights or whatever, like my knees like start giving out on me kind of thing.
There's
So
no safety net. That's why. Like even if you were like, roped up to something, it's still like it's scarier than being on like a roller coaster or something like that. So
So to that point, so even like our Christmas lights, we stopped putting them up on the front of our house because we were like, I would put them up and it was like I would forget to take them down until like May sometimes, and they were getting like beat up and whatever. And so we actually, for the last couple of years, last 3 or 4 years now, actually, we instead of decorating the front of our house, we actually decorate our back patio instead, because then also we can enjoy it because we have like the windows in our house we can see out the back more than we see out the front. So we decorate the back patio, and then, when we open up the windows in the living room and everything, we can see all the lights. The funny thing about that is that I think we kind of started a trend in our neighborhood, because over the years, there's like 5 or 6 houses now that face, our back alley that all decorate like there's one house they have like a trampoline out, and they like decorate the trampoline and everything. So like it's kind of become a weird thing where, I don't decorate the front of the house, but the back patio gets it. And that now everyone else is like decorating their back patio for the same thing. So I don't know. It's kind of a neat thing, but yeah, the bit of an aside. Yeah.
The trend I'm noticing around here, and I actually saw when I was down in Florida in my mom's, 55 and older community, is the permanent lights that, people are getting installed. Lights. Yeah. They're really cool. Like I like them a lot. I don't know if I could conjure up, I don't know if I could get past my cheapness in, wanting to do that.
So expensive.
Yeah. They're from what I've heard, they're a couple grand. And I'm like, I'm not going to drop a couple grand on some lights on the outside. Like, it just feels like not a thing that I want to do. I mean, but like I said, they look awesome. And one of my neighbors has them on year round. They just do different stuff based on whatever's going on at the time.
Yeah. You can program them, right?
Yeah. And you can do it all from your phone, right? Like it's all like, it's really cool.
Yeah. I looked into it, and up here, they quoted me $5,000 to do them on my house, which I was like, I don't need gem lights that bad.
Yeah, it's pricey.
Yeah,
it's pricey. By the way, Trevor, you and your wife sent us a nice little Christmas care package, which we appreciated. I don't even know if we talked about it last year on the podcast. What happened? My saga.
No, I don't think we did, because that was. I mean, it wasn't a great time. But yeah, this year we did get the package to you.
Yes. Yes. So last year Trevor had sent me a package, and there was a series of things that occurred that caused it actually is kind of crazy if you really think about it, because the house next to me was vacant. It was being worked on by construction workers. The FedEx driver dropped the package off to the wrong house, and then the workers either took all the stuff in it or threw it away. And so I never got it.
Somebody just took it. Yeah. So, could have just somebody. Yeah. Porsche Pirates or whatever.
And I was out of town when it came, because it was Thanksgiving. And so, long story short, I never got the box. So Trevor sends the box this year. And I want to go back, Trevor, to Halloween 2024. And I'm sure you probably know why. Because last year when we talked during Halloween, I discovered for the first time that there's a candy in Canada called Smarties that is not the same Smarties that we have in the United States. They're different Smarties. And so for those that don't know or haven't listened to us long enough or never heard that episode, or just doesn't know about this, because I think most Americans are unaware of this, because every time I mention it to somebody, they're like, "What are you talking about?" And I was like, "There's this whole different
Smarties."
Yeah, Smarties, right? And so in Canada, Smarties are like an M&M kind of thing, but they're like flatter and like okay, hold on though.
Okay, I'm sorry. But yeah.
No, but so I've wanted these for the longest time now, but they're like an M&M, but they're different. They're very different, but they're similar, right? So yeah. And then up there, you guys have what we call Smarties here. They're just called Rockets, I believe, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, we call them Rockets. Yeah.
So, but you still have those. But anyway, so ever since then, I've wanted to try these other Smarties, these Canadian Smarties. So Trevor, amongst the all dressed chips and maple cookies that you sent me, my wife is very happy about the all dressed chips. By the way, they sell all dressed chips in the United States, but they're not the same. So
she told my wife, they've had the messages back and forth. She's like, "Oh my god, the all dressed chips," and we were like, "Yep, we knew that's what would happen."
So I tried the Smarties. Okay. I have to say, Trevor, I like them, but I still like M&Ms better. I think I prefer M&Ms better. But I did like them. They're very different. They're they're flatter almost, and like they're much crunchier, right? Like the shell
the
is
candy shell ratio to chocolate is less.
Is different. Yeah.
Which, like you said, because it's flatter, you don't get like as much chocolate. But yeah, I guess I've grown up with them, so I've always preferred Smarties over M&Ms, and
I think it's personal preference. My daughter loves them. She's been chowing them down like crazy. So, and then the maple cookies too, of course. Always. Yeah,
I threw in an extra box because after we talked about it, I know you said that it was your stepdad was hunting for them. So
yeah, but
so
here's the problem.
You had extra, or I guess they may not survive until you talk with your stepdad next.
Well,
but
when he's here for Christmas, the problem is he does keto now, so he won't eat sugar, like, right. So I was like, I said something to him when I was down in Florida. I was like, hey, I'm probably Trevor sent me a box. I'm sure there's gonna be some maple cookies in them, and he's like, hide them from me. I was like, okay. I was like, I'll hide them, sure. But I had a few of those. So yeah, thank you for the care package there. That was nice, and we got all sorts of fun Canadian snacks. So looking forward to eating all of those. We have an insane amount of candy in our house right now.
Yeah, as you do this time of year. We're the same way. But yeah, I'm glad we got it to you this year. I was nervous about it just because of what happened last year. That sucked, but hey, we got it to you, and my wife was actually tracking that package daily when we sent it. Like, she was like, okay, it's over the border. It's it's here. It's like,
we got it. Well, we got it like right after we recorded last week too. Like it was like an hour later. It was, and we had just been talking about it, so it was kind of funny.
Yeah. Good timing too. Like it was. I'm just glad that you guys got it, because it was.
Me too.
I know it's not, or well, in terms of perspective, like, the Canadian snacks and everything, like, to me, they're not a big deal, like in that, because I can just get them whenever, right? Like the funny thing is when we talk about like, oh, you guys have this stuff and it's amazing. It's like, yeah, but I see it every day, so I kind of take it for granted. But I'm more happy that you guys are enjoying it, because it kind of reminds me of, that we all have unique things from wherever we come from, and it's just it's nice to kind of share that, right? Like, it's funny, I'm just happy that you guys are enjoying it, because like,
I think my wife asked your wife if she wanted any like specific snacks from here, and I was like, I don't know. I don't know if there's anything we have here that you don't have, right? Like,
well, I mean, I know there is stuff, but I'll be honest, the hard part for us is that the only time that we, like, I mean, for years, like I used to go various other places in the States when I was younger, but for the last like 10 years, really, the only place we've gone is Florida and to Disney World. Yeah. So my reference point right now is like what's available in Disney World. And it's like, so I don't actually know what else there is, or I haven't looked into, what regional stuff would be that I wouldn't be able to find here. Right. It's just not something I've looked into. So
and that's fair. I don't like, there's nothing here that I'm just like, oh, I gotta like, I mean, part of it is like, I'm not a big snacker just generally. But I don't know. I just couldn't think of anything. I was like, I don't know. I'm sure they have pretty much all the same stuff. Like, I mean, I don't know.
But it's funny because like I would say the same thing to myself, is like even when my wife and I were like, because we went shopping for you guys, obviously, like we specifically went and picked stuff out, and like she was grabbing like coffee crisps and stuff, which you got a couple of them in the box, right?
Yeah.
And like she grabbed them, and I kind of looked at her and I was like, why are you grabbing those? And she was like, well, they're coffee crisps. And I was like, okay, like it doesn't, whatever. Like, and then she's like, they're only available in Canada. I'm like, I didn't, I didn't think about it that way. So it's, but I feel like it's the kind of the same thing for you guys, is that I can bet,
I'm sure there's things.
If I came down there and like went to the store with you, I would probably be like marveled at like, oh, you got this? This is cool. That? And you'd be like, I buy that every other week. What are you talking? Like, it's, it's a funny thing that, it's hard to kind of like figure that stuff out. Right. And it's also hard too, because a lot of stuff, like you said, does come from the States up here. Actually, coincidentally, one thing that I know my wife was looking for it for, she makes a snack mix every year. Like she makes a batch of it and then sends out snack mix to our friends and stuff. And in the past, she would use, there's a snack called Bugles.
We got Bugles.
Yeah. So we don't have Bugles up here anymore. So they stopped shipping them up to Canada. So like we were looking for them, and then I did a quick Google search. It's like, yeah, they're widely available in the US. I'm like, oh, okay, I guess we just don't get them anymore. So there's stuff like that where it's like I know what it is, but I'm not like hunting for it every day. And it only came up because my wife was like, oh, I want to put Bugles in the snack mix, but it's not a thing up here anymore. So,
see, the only unique thing that I know of, right, for me, and this is being from New Jersey, it's not something, it's, we live in North Carolina now, and there's unique North Carolina stuff too. But growing up in New Jersey, there's a thing you call the Jersey sandwich, which is this stuff called pork roll, egg and cheese on a roll. And pork roll is my favorite thing in the world. And if you're from New York, New Jersey, Pennsylvania, New York, what this is. But it's something you can't get. I mean, I can buy it down here now, right? I buy it down here because there's a lot of Northerners and they sell it. But it's like my favorite thing in the world, right? Like if I were like, we're having a final meal, it would be that. Right, but it's one of those things that is very regional, and you don't find it really anywhere else. But it's not something I can send to you. It's refrigerated. It's a
right,
and I can't even really describe it. To be totally honest,
I just googled it, and it says pork roll is a processed meat product similar to a hybrid of Canadian bacon, bologna, and Spam.
Yeah, but it doesn't taste like any of those things.
Yeah, but so it's an amalgamation of all of meats that has a unique flavor to it. So
you fry it up, you put it in a sandwich. It's I literally had it for breakfast this morning. So
I get it. Like, the fact that it's like sounds like Canadian bacon, I love Canadian bacon whenever I can get it. It's actually like we can get it pretty easily, but I'm not like always hunting for it, I guess is the thing. But it's kind of like this is it's probably one of those things where it's, it's when you want it, you have to have it kind of thing, right? Like it's just, it's delicious. So I get that, like that's fair. And I also get that, I don't know that I would want you to send me some because it would either be, it would have to be packaged in such a way that it probably wouldn't taste as good as
it wouldn't make it well. And I also know it's not everyone's cup of tea, right? Like, so it's not necessarily a thing I would even send you because it's like you might not like it, I don't know, but it's a very unique thing to New Jersey and that area, and I grew up having it, and it's one of my favorite things in the world. But it is a very regional thing. So, and there is stuff like that. I mean, down here in North Carolina, there's, pimento cheese is the big thing, right? Or there's also a breakfast thing called liver mush, which I've never tried because it looks disgusting. And then, if you're in like the Eastern Pennsylvania area, there's a scrapple. I don't know if you ever heard of scrapple.
No.
Also gross.
I've never. That sounds like a made up word to me.
Scrapple is, my dad loves Scrapple. It's I don't know, how do you put this in a nice way? It's all of like the extra pig parts.
Got it.
It's like kind of like made into like this loaf, and then you like fry it up. It's
all right.
Yeah, it's a pan-fried loaf made of pork scraps, like head, heart, liver, and skin, mixed with cornmeal, buckwheat flour, and spices. It's Pennsylvania Dutch. It's a very German immigrant thing, and so my dad is like will eat it all the time, but it's not something I would eat. It's not my favorite. It's disgusting.
Yeah, it sounds like something on the same level as haggis, which haggis is a very regional thing. I can't remember if it's Irish or Scottish. I think is it Scottish? I don't remember. I should know this, but
it actually looks, apparently it's liver mush is fairly comparable to Scrapple. It's fairly compatible to comparable. I'm sorry, to Scrapple, but it has more liver in it. So again. These are things that I'm not eating.
Sounds great, but I'll pass.
But pork roll is delicious. That's way more attainable. Yeah. So
and I guess to your point about like regional things is like I do know. I have other friends that I've talked with that live in like South Carolina and whatnot. I guess from my point of view is from what I understand, like, the barbecue scene down there is very different than that. Yeah. Like we have barbecue here, but I know that there's a different level of barbecue. Like not to say we do it okay, because like, we do have a lot of ranchers and like beef production stuff. So that does lead to a lot of barbecue, but I'm sure that there's a different level of barbecue to experience down there, which, I guess, if you were talking about like, you don't know what to like send that's representative of your area. It's like, I bet you there's probably spice rubs and barbecue sauce and stuff that I've never seen before that, you probably see every day that you don't think about.
If you were here, that's probably what I would take you to is barbecue. I didn't even think about barbecue because to your point, you just get used to it. It's like not even, but yeah, I mean, like the barbecue here, I mean, there's an actual style of barbecue that's North Carolina, barbecue sauce that's North Carolina's, and we have several different. So it is very much ingrained in the culture here too. So yeah, that is a good point, but. How did we even get talking about this? We've been talking for 20 minutes.
But I mean, we were just kind of talking about what we've been up to, and the package and all that. So
I do want to say
you should put that in the title, just the package.
That just sounds weird though.
But like, what is that? Right?
I mean, mysterious.
Yeah.
Sounds like a sci-fi show on Apple TV. Anyway.
Let's get into some Disney stuff.
Before we do that, I do want to say, so we Spotify for creators, they actually will send out like a wrap, the whole wrapped thing.
Yeah.
They send a wrap for podcast creators though. And I have to say, Trevor, our Spotify wrapped for the show this year was pretty fantastic. And I just want to give a shout out to everybody listening on all platforms, but just, if I got a wrapped for all platforms, that would be great. I'm not going to get into the nitty gritty of the podcast industry where analytics are just a hot mess. And, Spotify has their own separate analytics from everybody else. It's crazy, but,
we at least get the data from them. So the other ones we haven't is the only thing.
But we had 100% growth, in the show last year. We were in the top 5% of shows as far as minutes listened go, so that's pretty amazing considering, and also top 10% of shared shows. So people out there that are listening are sharing our show to other people, and so we got, they give you like these little badges that we got. So so thank you to everybody listening everywhere. Not just Spotify, but I mean, 20 countries, Trevor. Yeah. 20 countries were heard in. I mean, that's incredible.
Again, like you said, that's just our Spotify data.
That's just Spotify.
We do get sometimes this information from Apple and whatnot, but they don't make it easy. Like Tom said, it's not that we're ignoring other platforms. It's just we have a hard time getting that data from these
Spotify.
Platforms,
just sent me a thing. Spotify sent me a thing here saying, "Here's how your year was." If all the other platforms did that, then I would tell you what those said too. But I can only go by what Spotify says. But I think we've had tremendous growth on Spotify. The video food time episodes have been really doing well on Spotify. So I just thanks to everybody. We really appreciate it as we've kind of had a year end of change and doing some different things. So thanks for hanging in here with us. We appreciate it. So Trevor, speaking of things coming to Canada. Look at that.
Perfect. That was so perfect.
It's a good transition right there. Good news for you. After all of the I know you were very
after all my complaining.
After all of the I wasn't going to say all of the complaining, but I was going to say after all of the the year that everybody else got to use it. There are reports now, and I'm not going to say that these are confirmed reports because this is coming from I'm going to attribute this to DVC fan who has good information, and they actually asked a cast member about this. But it used to just be U.S. members that can participate in Membership Magic Beyond. Now, starting in 2026 here, it is now going to be available to members living in Canada, United Kingdom, Japan, and Europe. So look at that, Trevor. Now it's available to you. You can have it.
It's about time.
It is.
I'm happy that obviously that they're starting to do this. I get why they didn't roll it out to international to begin with, because if it's, if it's a new program, they don't want to just, open the floodgates and have everybody, using it, and it causes chaos, right? Like it makes for a negative experience if there's too many people using it up front, right? So I'm glad that they realized that, I'm sure they had this in the back of their head that they were, it was going to be expanded out to all owners at some point. It really didn't feel good was the thing. Like I think it wasn't necessarily this, that it was like, I feel like at the time there was like a chain of things where it was like, oh, this is only available in the US. This is only available in the US. Like, so it was like
a bunch of things. Yeah.
So it just felt like, oh, I guess they're just catering to, their the people that are in the US, right? And so it didn't, that part of it didn't feel good. And and that's not to say that Disney has to placate to my feelings on this stuff. I'm just saying that's how it is perceived.
They should.
But they totally should.
They should.
But yeah, I'm happy about this. The other thing too is, this is not for resale memberships. It's still a blue card perk.
It is. Yeah.
Which I think that's fair. I think, sure. it does give something, reasons to consider blue card. And they've also said this over the years too. I see people ask this question all the time, like, cause I am reading Reddit posts and stuff where people are talking about like trying to get into DVC, and, the conversation always comes up of, well, they have these perks, and, is this, should I get in because of these perks? And it's like, this is a perk. If this is the reason you're buying for the wrong reason.
Perks change year to year. You never know if they're going to stick around. Like you can't. I mean, somebody said it in the Discord, Trevor, right? Where it's like sometimes I feel like I'm missing out on the perks, but like most of the time I don't. Just by doing resale, right? Like and it's. I mean, I guess you don't know what you don't know or what you're missing out on, right? Like if you don't have it necessarily, like you can see what other people are getting. I will say every time I go to a Disney restaurant and I get that nice discount, like it is. I mean, it's significant, Yeah,
that you're right. It definitely does help, and I'm the same way. Where it's like there's a lot of sit downs and special events and stuff that I wouldn't have done if it wasn't for having my direct membership. So absolutely fair on that. But the thing I'll say though is around like again specifically talking about things like membership magic extras and everything is I was complaining like, hey, I want to use this, and I feel excluded from it. But I saw people actually like going like, this is I'm considering whether or not I should buy DVC because of whether they offer this to Canadians or not. And I'm like, nah. You should be looking at DVC as like. You're completely ignoring the fact that like if you actually like price out the cost of a hotel room, like that cost savings alone, like for me, my DVC membership has paid for itself at this point. Like we're almost 10 years into it. It's me going is just like, hey, I get cool room. Like that's as far as my brain goes on it, is that like room is nice. Don't think like that's that's how it should be. And then anything else that comes up like membership magic and everything, it's like, hey, bonus. Like and even before COVID and all that, like we were getting annual passes because we were doing like 2 trips a year at one point. And we realized, like I was like, oh, this is great, annual passes. But then I realized it was like that was a bonus at the time. Now it doesn't make sense, right? Like things change with DVC, and it's like I can't justify getting the annual pass even with the DVC discount. So, this may be the same thing where it may change to a point where it's not worth it. But for now, I'm planning. I hope that this stays into 2027, and so the funny thing is that this is they're extending this into 2026. There's no guarantee that it'll continue beyond that. Probably will, because it seems to be getting good reception on it. But as we talked about, our next trip isn't until 2027. So we've got like a whole year and a half really before we're going, which is a lot of time for this stuff to change. And it may not make sense by then, but for now I'm excited that at least we can try, or I'm planning for it. Or I'm assuming that I'm going to be getting this because, like you said previously, the cost of it alone, like if you're just planning to even get Memory Maker, like the included Memory Maker is like that's the cost.
The whole thing.
Yeah, and then everything else on top of it is just gravy. So it's I'm excited.
Yeah, that's good. I'm glad you're excited. That's good news. It's always nice to have good news. The next thing I had on here, Trevor, was actually Dan K in the Discord shared this like, I don't know, 2 weeks ago. And we were, we had a lot of things to catch up on when we came back, but I felt like this needed to be addressed because this is a really interesting news, and it's and the headline here is that Muppet Live appearances planned for Disney Cruise Line. So and this is from Attractions Magazine, by the way, so this is not like a blog. Now given Attractions Magazine is not, it's more reliable than your clickbaity Disney blog, so
it's at least it's an official publication. It's been around for a while.
Yes.
Like it's not this isn't
it's
just
trustworthy.
like
yeah, but what they said here, and this hasn't been announced by Disney Cruise Line, however, the VP of the Muppet Studio said, where is it? He said fans may want to start booking their travel plans for next year because they're about to see a lot more of Kermit and company at Disney's cruise ships and theme parks, including live appearances from the characters on land and sea. So,
okay.
All right. I know we're going to see obviously more of the Muppets because of Rock and Roller Coaster, but that's promising to me. That's exciting to me that they have more plans for Muppet stuff and that they're continuing to do more things with the Muppets and not just kind of like burying them after they close Muppet Vision 3D,
Yeah, and my initial thought when they said more live shows is I was like, do you think they're bringing back that show that they did in Magic
Liberty
Kingdom?
Square? Yeah, that show was great. It was hilarious.
That was great. So, but yeah, like to your point, that there's going to be either stuff like that or more Muppet stuff showing up in the parks, which is cool. Like,
yeah, it's great. I think you're still, it's amazing how relevant the Muppets still are. And anytime you do something new in the parks around the Muppets, they get more relevant to a new generation, and so you kind of have to keep doing these things, right? Because my daughter knows the Muppets, but she's not like obsessed with them, you know what I mean? Like, but she likes them.
But Sesame Street has been like, that's been a thing forever. Like at this point, I guess our entire lives, the Sesame Street's been relevant. And it's funny because, the Sesame Street is like, it is the Muppets. It's the same, like, character, like, because you do see like Kermit and stuff on Sesame Street, right?
Yeah.
And yeah, it's just a funny thing where, it's such a culturally embedded thing that, you're saying like, it's amazing that they're doing it in the parks, but like you said, I feel like it is such a thing that's ingrained in just all of our heads that it's like, as soon as you say Kermit, like the name Kermit the Frog, it was just a name that happened to be picked at the time. It wasn't that they invented a new name for Kermit.
Yeah.
But if you heard Kermit in any other context, you would immediately, like if somebody had like a character in another show and their name was Kermit, in the back of your head, you'd be like, the frog? Like, right?
Well, like, it's funny you say that because I was watching a show recently and the character's name with Kermit, and I'm just like, you can't use Kermit. Like, you just can't use that.
But that's exactly the point. And so saying that sorry, I know like it's not what you're saying here, but sometimes the impression is like the Muppets are going to fade away from like relevance, and you'll never see them in the park. Disney knows that the Muppets are relevant, and they know that they don't have to like throw them in your face either. I think Disney might have actually learned some lessons from Star Wars and Marvel that
slow roll it a little bit.
Yeah, like there is something to be said for pacing and not beating people over the head with the same thing over and over again. So the hard part though is, as fans of this stuff, it's finding that line where we're not getting impatient or going like, why are you taking so long to do this? Or why are we not seeing it versus too much of it, right? Like it's a weird balancing act that they have to do with this. And yeah, like you said, the fact that they're kind of hinting at, hey, you're going to see more of this stuff going into 2026. That gets me curious. Like, the rock and roller coaster stuff has been a main focus, but now I'm going, oh, what else are we going to see? Yeah.
Yeah. And I mean, you're seeing a lot of a little bit of this, right, with Jollywood Nights, right, with the holiday party over at Hollywood Studios. They have Muppet stuff, but I'm going to be interested to see what they do with it on the cruise ships, because I think up until this point, there's been very limited exposure to the cruise ships. I know that they appear in one of the ship games on one of the ships,
it's
but
like the Perry the Platypus thing in Epcot. Like it's like a scavenger hunt kind of thing.
Yeah, right? and we did a little bit of that when we were on the Treasure, but and it's cool how they have it set up, because they have like these like, I don't want to call them mirrors, but they have the screens all over the place, and you do that kind of stuff. But it's saying live appearances, so we're talking like live shows, akin to what you were talking about in the Liberty Square show, stuff like that on the cruise ship. I would love to see that. So I'll be interested to see what that's going to look like. But it's good. It's definitely a good thing. I mean, honestly, Trevor, I can't even get my daughter to go see Zootopia 2. So, which, by the way, I don't know if you saw this, and I know, Trevor, you really like Zootopia, right? So, and I was like, I wonder if this will get Trevor out to the theaters. But I did see that. I don't know if you saw this news, but it made it to $1 billion worldwide in 17 days. It's the fastest. It's had the best opening ever for an animated movie. Wow. And now has reached $1 billion, the fastest time ever. In 17 days, it made $1 billion, which is crazy. Like, I mean, it got great reviews. It's getting great reviews, and I've heard it's really good. But I'm just really impressed. If anybody is, I've heard some people say before on our show, and some of the listeners said, I'm not a big fan of Zootopia. And it's like, obviously there are a lot of people who are, because, it does very, very well. So, yeah.
It just because I don't like something doesn't mean that it's not popular, I guess.
Well, Avatar is a perfect example, man. I've never seen Avatar.
I haven't watched the last, or what? There's been 2 movies that have come out now.
No, there's one about to come out. There's
there's Way of Water, and then Ash and Fire or something like that.
Listen, I've never seen Avatar, but I am also not saying to myself like, well, because every time an Avatar comes out, it makes over $1 billion. I mean, it's not, and this next one probably will too. So it has a fan base, right? And it's just because it's not me. Doesn't mean there isn't one there that exists, like, heck, I don't like Harry Potter either, and everybody else does. So it's
see that. Okay. I know it's an opinion thing, but that's wild. Sorry, dude. I'm sorry. I'm going to put you on blast for this for a second. Well, Harry Potter's so good.
Before we started recording the podcast, my wife was in the living room watching the first Harry Potter movie. I guess there's a marathon on one of the channels, probably Freeform or something. But the movie was on, and I'm just sitting there. I'm like, I just don't get it, man. Like, it kind of bothers me. I don't get it. Like, it does. Like, it just doesn't do anything for me. And I
feel like maybe you need to, I don't know, maybe you need to watch one of the later ones where it gets a little bit darker and more intense. Because the first one's a little, I will admit, like, it has a few moments, but it's relatively.
I would tell you this, Trevor. The effects
relatively
don't hold up. The effects do not hold up.
It was, that show was made like 25 years ago or something like that.
Yeah, it's 20 plus years ago now. So listen, you say that, but I still watch Jurassic Park to this day, and I think it's maybe the best CGI I've ever seen. And that was basically
That's fair.
The original, I mean, now they just like cut corners and, but you go watch Jurassic Park, those effects still look fantastic,
Okay. I will say this. Okay. We're going to have, this is the me trying to convince Tom to watch Harry Potter segment of the show. So bear with us. I will say, ignoring the larger like story arc of Harry Potter, I personally really enjoy Prisoner of Azkaban, which is the 3rd Harry Potter. Okay. Not because of, it's actually because of how the story is told, and the fact that there's a time travel element to it, and there's a lot of interesting detail because of it. I think you just need the right hook into storytelling, is my opinion. Because I know like you have certain like stories and stuff that you really enjoy. I personally like The Prisoner of Azkaban, and I would say try and watch The Prisoner of Azkaban, because also the kids are a little bit older in that one, so it's not quite like, sorry, the first show is they're very young, and it's very like
the acting
kid well, but it's also like kids kind of stumbling into stuff, whereas as they get older through the show, it does, their personalities change, like the characters change, and the show itself gets a little bit more dark and adult. I think like I mean, the big switch is honestly in 4 in Goblet of Fire, but I personally like Prisoner of Azkaban. If you ignored the larger Harry Potter world, just it being a time traveling story. And my pitch to you is that you like Back to the Future, so you would probably like Prisoner of Azkaban.
Why? Because there's time travel. I don't know.
Yeah,
like here's okay.
They don't use a DeLorean, but it's still cool. I promise. Okay.
I don't. Okay, hold on. Okay, let me explain something. Okay, let me explain something.
I'm sorry. I'm just kidding, man.
I don't know what it is about me, and my sister's the same way. I have no idea why we're like this. But the more popular something is, the more skeptical I am about liking it. Like. Mm-hmm. It's like, fair. And the more you try to, the more people that like it, and the more people that try to convince me to like it, the more I go the opposite direction and hating it. You know what I mean?
But that's why I'm not saying it's good just because it's popular. I'm saying that there are particular story arcs that I'm not saying that it's the greatest storytelling ever, but it's an interesting story arc to me, and that's what I'm sharing with you. So,
I tend to eventually get into it, right? But it takes time. Right. Like I didn't get into Game of Thrones until like 5 seasons in. Right. Because everyone was talking about it. And it was like, and then I was like, okay, I'm into it now. And then, like Star Wars, I talked about this before. I never watched a Star Wars movie. Right. Like, and then after all the Star Wars movies were done, I'm like, all right, let me check out a Star Wars. Maybe,
And okay. And I'm going to put a hot take out there too, because, I am the same way to a certain degree. I have not watched Game of Thrones. I have no intention to watch Game of Thrones because it's just not my vibe.
That's fine.
Same thing with Lost. I know a lot of people love Lost.
On that one.
No, but I don't care that I'm wrong. I'm just saying that it's. Okay. I know we're having fun. And then coincidentally, so I didn't start. So Breaking Bad, and I'm throwing these out here as like big shows that, people were like, oh my God, they're the greatest thing. I didn't watch Breaking Bad when it came out. I actually didn't watch it until my son got interested in it, because him and his friends, like, a year ago or 2 years ago, were suddenly like into Breaking Bad. And they're teenagers. And I was like, and so part of me was like, we had before the show, we had a conversation about our kids and growing up and protecting our kids. So we were, I was kind of looking at it from the angle of, this, like, I don't know if my kids should be watching this, but then I realized, like, he needs to, like, it's probably better that he's exposed to it and, we're talking about it versus me trying to shelter him from it, because he was just going to go watch it with his friends anyway if I didn't.
Well, that's. And I think the one way to get a kid to do something is to forbid them from doing it, right?
Exactly.
As soon as you tell a kid you can't do this, that's the only thing they want to do. So,
but to the point about watching the show is that I had like zero interest in Breaking Bad, but then because my son was watching it, I started like watching it with him, and I didn't watch it like front to back all the way through, but I watched enough of it that I was like, oh, like, yeah, this is really good. But I was like, I couldn't suddenly like go and be like, hey guys, have you seen Breaking Bad? It's amazing. Because like my friends would be like, yeah, that was like 8 years ago. What do you want?
Where you been?
Yeah.
Where you been?
Yeah, right. It's so I get it. Like, you find shows sometimes where it's like you get into it way after the fact, and and I feel like you're like me, Tom, where it's not about the hype around the show. It's about just your enjoyment of it, and I feel like you're looking for storylines and whatnot that you engage with, right? And so I get why certain things like Harry Potter, the hype around it was insane, but if you can ignore that, there are some good shows in there. I'm not saying all of them. Like, I have my personal list, and I'm not going to start. I know we have Harry Potter fans in our listeners. I'm not starting a war about which Harry Potter is better. I'm just saying Prisoner of Azkaban is my favorite. Don't come for me, please.
Oh my gosh. This is
but we'll leave that there. We went down another rabbit hole.
No, it's all good. I don't know. I honestly don't know what my problem is with Harry Potter. I really, really don't. I'm not like, I don't know. I can't explain it. I really can't.
We need to get you over to Universal.
That's not going to make me want to do it more. That's not going to make me into it.
I don't know. I really enjoyed, like, we hit all three of the Harry Potter areas at Universal, and I mean, I guess my brother and I were both enough into Harry Potter that, and I mean his girls were really into it. So I guess the weird thing is, it wasn't a hard sell.
I've talked about this before. Like, and this was the same way with Star Wars for me, right? Where I had never seen a Star Wars and I've never watched a Harry Potter all the way through, but I've absorbed enough of it through pop culture that, like, I know stuff about it and I don't know why, right? Like, we're watching the first movie, like I said, while I was putting together some furniture, right? And there's something going on in the background, and I said to my wife, I was like, this thing happens in this thing, right? Or, like, I forget exactly what it was. And she's like, yeah, how do you know that? You don't like Harry Potter? I'm like, I don't know, I just do. It's just there. Like, I don't know where it came from, but probably from pop culture.
There's enough of those, like, they kind of evolve into memes and stuff like that.
Yeah, but there's references and like, you watch The Office, they make a bunch of Harry Potter references at one time or another. You know what I mean? Like, it's other things reference.
You sometimes don't know where it starts even, but it's like you know, like, oh, this is a trope, right? Like, these tropes happen in the show, and you go, I get the joke, or I get what they're referencing. Yes. But sometimes you're actually like The Office thing is referencing Harry Potter, but you're kind of looking at it from the lens of, like, oh, I saw that on The Office first, right? So
I saw Spaceballs when I was a kid before I saw Star Wars, but I understood what they were doing.
The entire show is just like jabbing at, like, mainly Star Wars, but like there's like so many sci-fi movie references in Spaceballs. It's insane.
There are, but like, I saw that before I saw Star Wars, but I still understood what they were doing, right? Like, I knew what they were making fun of. But anyway, I'm sorry, we're way off the rails. But
that's fine. Let's go back to the Muppets. So we were talking about Muppets.
Let's go back to the Muppets for a second, because we talked I think last episode, or I don't know, maybe a couple episodes ago, where Disney, no, it was last episode, where they announced the closing season or opening season for the new Muppets Rock and Roller Coaster, but now we have an exact date of when Rock and Roller Coaster is closed. So this is going to be a quick item, but we just wanted to mention it. So it's going to close on March 2nd. So the last day to ride Rock and Roller Coaster with Aerosmith is March 1st. So if you really got to get your Aerosmith fix in, talk about a thing that's not relevant anymore. But harsh, I know, harsh, but true. How many kids know who Aerosmith is? I mean, I can't imagine a lot of kids go up to Rock and Roller Coaster and go, Aerosmith, yeah, I love them. Like,
I know I've ridden Rock and Roller Coaster with my son, and I know he's heard like one of the songs on there, but he's off at his friend's house right now. When he gets home, I'm going to try and remember to ask him if he knows anything about Aerosmith. Just see, like, I'm just curious
see the reaction.
Yeah. He'll probably be like, "What are you talking about? Like,
what is that? Aerosmith? What is that nonsense?"
But and again, to that point is, if I say, like, "Oh, do you know the Muppets?" He'll be like, "Yeah, cool." Like, it's I feel like reasons why Aerosmith is being phased out of Rock and Roller Coaster.
I mean, the last time Aerosmith was relevant was like Armageddon. The movie Armageddon,
good old 1998.
Yeah, 1998, right? Like, that was the Armageddon, that music video with,
Actually, that's not entirely true. Or, well, actually, that was their last big thing. The last Aerosmith thing I can remember them being involved in was actually the Polar Express.
They were in the I've actually never seen Polar Express.
Oh my gosh, dude!
I don't know why. I just never seen that.
Okay, since it's Christmas time,
I know. I feel like I should now.
Sit down and watch it. It's Tom Hanks all the way down. It's Tom Hanks' Inception. Like, he plays like every role in the movie, and it's fantastic.
All right, so I'll have to check that out.
So, but Aerosmith does make an appearance at the end of the movie.
Okay.
Because they're singing, they do a quick song, and they're like, and it's all CGI, obviously, but it's very clearly like Aerosmith, and you'll get a laugh.
Like they would
out of
fit
it.
in the vibe of that movie, but okay,
it totally works. Trust me, it totally works, and you'll love it. Like you got to watch the show.
All right.
Yeah.
I would start singing Aerosmith right now, but I think we should do our ad.
We get copyright stricken for singing bad Aerosmith.
I mean, if I sang, that Armageddon one really badly, what was it? I forget what the name of the song is, but it's the
Don't Want to Miss a Thing.
Don't Want to Miss a Thing. Yes, that's it right there.
I have it in my head now, thanks.
Now it's in my head too. Yeah, I'm actually seeing the music video in my head because I remember. Don't ask me why I remember the music video. Probably because it was on like TRL or something a bunch. But I remember it very distinctly. Oh man, Ben Affleck and Bruce Willis and Buscemi's in them. Oh, what a good movie! It's so bad, but it's so good. It's such a bad movie, but it's
I mean,
oh, dude.
It's a crazy premise, is what it is.
It's an absurd movie. That was when those. Okay, anyway, sorry. This episode. I don't even know what's happening.
Man, we're so gone.
Yeah, all right. This episode is brought to you by DVC Resale Market. DVC Resale Market, a world of DVC companies, the leader in the DVC resale industry with 13 former Disney Vacation Club guides and 3 former Disney Vacation Club quality assurance managers. If you're thinking of buying DVC, browse the largest selection of DVC resale listings anywhere, with DVC experts on hand 7 days a week to answer your questions. If you're thinking of selling, turn to the friendly professionals at DVC Resale Market, where over 98% of listings sell within 30 days. In 2024, DVC Resale Market helped over 4,400 families join or add on to their memberships. Go to dvcresalemarket.com/welcome home or call 1-844-DVC-PROS. That's 1-844-382-7767. And when you speak to them, be sure to let them know that Welcome Home sent you. I just can't. That movie. Okay. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Let's recenter and get back to it's Christmas time.
Yeah.
There is we're talking about Disney. There's a Christmas parade.
There's Christmas things happening.
Yeah.
I don't know about you, but we always watch the Christmas, the Christmas Day parade, on Christmas morning. So we
try to, but it does. Like I turn it on. I shouldn't say we always turn on, but we've turned it on, but then we do get distracted by other things. And I don't think I've actually watched it all the way through at any point.
Really?
Yeah.
We always have it on the background while we're eating and opening presents and all that stuff. So
I need to make a better habit of like I said, we just kind of forget that it's there because we get excited about the gifts and everything on Christmas morning and stuff that's going on. But, and also, like, we end up making, like, Christmas dinner. Like we always end up starting, like, cooking and stuff by, like, 11 o'clock. So,
yeah.
But
I get that.
I guess to be fair, like, you can, the Disney Magical Christmas Day Parade airs at 10 a.m. on December 25th and starts streaming Eastern time and starts streaming at 11 a.m. So that's, I mean, for me, that starts, I'm not getting up at 8 a.m. to watch the parade, but it's available for me at 9 a.m. because I'm in Mountain Standard Time. So I can definitely, turn this on when, it's on, it'll be on Disney Plus. So we can watch it.
Although oddly only until January 4th. You think that would just be a thing they would leave up, but for some reason it's only until January 4th on Disney Plus. So
I feel like they want to have some kind of exclusivity around it. And also, you're right that they could leave it up all year round, but if they did that, it would actually become very confusing over time because then people would like, because they do it every year, right? And then people would be like, oh, well, am I watching the 2025 one or the 2026 one? Or like, I get why they only have it up for a limited amount of time.
Yeah, I get
it. Because and I'm sure at some point there will be, and to be honest, like after you've watched one of these shows, would you like in the middle of the year, would you suddenly have a craving to go back and watch a Christmas Day Parade?
Probably not.
Yeah. Let's be
real.
Gonna
say that. Probably not. Yeah. It's not something I would go back and stream, but it's all good. So I listen, some really cool stuff, here always, right? Like, and it's being hosted again by Alfonso Ribeiro, which is funny to me that
I love
he's
him. I just have to say that he's fantastic. He's such a great personality for this.
He's really parlayed his Fresh Prince of Bel-Air thing into being a TV host, like, and that seems to be what he does now. Is just he's a TV presenter, which is fine. That's great. He's good at it, right? So. We're also going to get Jennifer Goodwin too, who's the voice of Judy Hopps.
Judy Hopps,
because why Disney never will not take advantage of an
opportunity to cross promote their products.
Not that Zootopia 2 needs it because it's doing quite well,
but that's just further cementing the hype and everything. But also, I again, as far as like. Both Alfonso and Jennifer, I feel like thinking back to previous years, I didn't like they've had people on as hosts, and I'm like, I don't know where this person's relevant from, kind of thing. Yeah. And these two, though, it's like I know Jennifer from not just Zootopia, but also what was it? Once Upon a Time, yeah. So she was great in Once Upon a Time, and she's done. I've seen her in other shows. Alfonso obviously is Alfonso, so it's like. Having people that are like, hosting the show that you're familiar with makes it a lot easier to like engage with it. I think so. Funny enough, I think like I'm more interested this year than I've been in previous years for the Christmas Day Parade just because of that. So just putting that out there. It does.
I'm gonna throw this out there. Big fan of Once Upon a Time. Really enjoyed that series until it got
it was fantastic.
Got a little at the end, but I mean
it went off the rails a bit, but like it was solid for a long
great
time.
Show. Yeah. Really great show. Trevor, the other part of this though that we're not mentioning too is the girl that played, and I'm not even going to try to say her name correctly.
Maya
that plays
Kaloa,
who played Lilo in the live action Lilo and Stitch, which I don't know if you've watched yet, Trevor, but is great, and she is fantastic in it. The kid's got like charisma, for miles. So like the fact that she's going to be doing it seems like she's doing parade. She's a parade correspondent. Like she's just going to be going to talk to people in the crowd. I mean, which is great because, like I said, the kid's got a great personality. She's really really funny. And I think she'll do great in this. But have you watched the live action yet, Trevor? You got to do that. If you haven't.
I have not, because again, we don't get out to movie theaters a lot. It's when it hits Disney Plus,
it's on Disney Plus now.
Is it okay? So, again, I'm not like constantly hunting for movies to watch on Disney Plus. So we'll probably sit down. We have some time off here coming in a couple of weeks. I'm sure that will probably hit our radar. That something to sit down and watch. Also, to your point about Zootopia. We may go watch it in theaters, but like it's -18 here today. I don't want to go to a movie theater.
You want to go outside?
Yeah, exactly. Like this is the hard part about like stuff that comes out in like there is always these blockbusters that come out in like November, December timeframe. It's like, oh, you should go see it, and it's like, yeah, when it's not cold, which means like March.
Yeah.
So I kind of missed the boat, but we might go over the holidays and watch Zootopia. So to the point of. Seeing these people who are hosting the Christmas Day Parade and the shows that that tie back to this, I might get out to watch them, but I honestly don't even care at this point if I do, because, like I said, the people that are hosting this is, it does go a long way to getting me engaged with watching these kinds of things, because if the host is not somebody interesting or somebody that I necessarily, have a lot of interest in. And I'm not hating anybody that, if you watch previous years and you're like, oh, I love this person, or whatever, great. Like, it's just for me, I was not really like the parade itself is not enough to actually draw me there to sit and watch it or to remember to have it on Christmas morning. These hosts actually are like, I'm thinking about it more, and I'm actually going to try and make a point of turning this on Christmas Day. So
it's funny because we've watched it so many times now that we know the beats of it, meaning like They always do certain things, right? Like they have
they show part of the parade, and then they move to like a musical act, and then the
tear-jerky story of the kid that did something nice for the community, and they surprise them with a trip to Disney World, and then there's like a preview of some sort of park thing in the future or a cruise ship thing, like, and then another musical act like that. They have like a kind of like
it's a template,
yeah, and it works. Like, listen, it works. Yeah. So like, okay, great, keep doing that, but. I actually, it's funny, the Zootopia thing, just to go, off for a second here, because it was the thing that came up in the Discord, and Chris made me laugh about this in the Discord, because I had said that I was trying to push my daughter to go to Zootopia too, and it got to the point where my wife got annoyed that I was pushing too hard, and she was like, cut it out, stop pushing, right? And I said, yeah, so I'm going to try again in a couple days. Which Chris thought was really funny, but it's true. You just gotta, I'm trying, right? Mm-hmm. But I cannot convince my kid to go to a movie, man. It is really,
I hate to tell you this, Tom, but like my kid, they're going to start going to see movies without you.
Well, she won't see a movie in the theater. She won't watch a movie at home. Like, we can't any movies.
Okay, and again, we talked about this before the show. My son, like, we've gone to movies in the past, but we haven't really gone to movies for really a couple of years. We just haven't. There's nothing that's been compelling enough to make us want to go to the theater. My son went out with his friends last week to go see. They went to the cheap movie theater because they were playing National Lampoon Christmas Vacation, and so he went and watched that with his friends. And there's going to come a point where your daughter is going to, like, her friends are going to say, let's go watch a movie, and she'll go with them, but she won't go with you. I'm sorry, Tom, but it's going to happen. And, we're here as a support group for you to work through it.
Well, it's
going to happen.
I think I forgot to talk about this on the show, and it is kind of, this is not unrelated, but they are putting Labyrinth back in the theaters in January.
Oh, nice.
And so we bought tickets to go see Labyrinth because I love that movie. It's a weird movie, super weird movie, right? It's a Jim Henson directed movie, and it's I think a classic, right?
With like Muppets cranked up to 10 for weirdness.
Yes. David
second
Bowie's
to me only
crazy.
Second to me only for next to the Dark Crystal. I like the Dark Crystal more than I like Labyrinth.
Yeah, but Labyrinth is basically all of the Muppets in it are populated by all of your favorite Muppet people, right? Like that all do all the different voices. I mean, it's a Jim Henson thing. So if you haven't seen it, it's a great movie. But yeah, it's coming back to theaters for like a limited time, and so in January. So we bought tickets to go see it again. I haven't seen it forever, but I'm excited to check that out again. It's been a long time, but there you go. See, it's like slightly Disney related, but
we are terribly bad at going down these rabbit holes. We said we were just going to talk about these things quickly. So, okay, we've covered the Christmas Day parade. Unless there's anything else you want to say about the Christmas Day parade.
No, it's not good.
The other thing, so since we're still on Christmas stuff, there is a Hallmark holiday film being filmed in Disney World.
It feels so low rent for Disney to do this.
Yeah, but okay, here's the thing. My wife is super excited about this.
Is she really?
Because my wife, okay, I do get on my wife about this because, like, kind of like you just talked about with the template for the Christmas parade. Those Hallmark movies have a template. And she loves them though. Like, and I'm not, it's fine. But she doesn't make me watch them, but I will, like you, I'll come into the room. It'll be on in the background, and it'll be like, some lady left her husband and found out that the guy that she knew from her childhood is there, and the janitor at the school is actually Santa, and it's just like, oh my God,
Trevor,
right?
there's a synopsis in this. There's a synopsis in this article, so let me read it to you.
Okay, all right. Let's see what the Disney version is.
It's not far off from what you just said. Yeah. In the film, Lindsay and her extended family head to Walt Disney World to spend a magical Christmas together, but the dream of a jolly holiday gets dashed when Lindsay discovers her room is next door to Philip, a disastrous first date she recently had, who's also there on a family trip. Coincidences, Trevor. As Lindsay and Philip's paths cross throughout their stay, the frost starts to thaw as they learn they're not so different from each other after all. Thanks to the magic of Walt Disney World, the holiday wish Lindsay made in Cinderella Fountain might just turn their rivalry into a romance. Spoiler alert, it does. I haven't even seen it, but I'm telling you now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
That is
and sorry, we are making fun of it, but if you enjoy this stuff, like my wife, it's fine.
But
you
Jen
do you.
is not watching these things unironically, though, right? Like no one's watching these things unironically.
She enjoys them just because they're fun little Christmas shows. They make her feel happy, and that's all that matters. And
we're not making fun of anybody that likes these. I just think it's funny.
It's more the just the fact that Hallmark has got this like formula nailed down with it, and the fact that it's there's just the backdrop is just a Christmas, or it's Disney World this time, which is better than the New England town that they've been using up until now.
Like somewhere in New Hampshire or something. It's like it's like okay.
I'm gonna say this on here. If this actually happens, I want whatever movie credits, or I want somebody to like give me royalties on this. But the most hilarious thing, I think, because of all these Hallmark movies, and it feels like they're all being filmed in the same town, would be to have a series of these Hallmark movies where there's like 3 or 4 of them, where there's like different crews all filming at the same time. And so like as like one scene's playing out, you can see in the background that there's like somebody from another movie doing like there's people from the other movie, but then if you watch the other movie, like it's from the other perspective. Whoa. I think that would be an amazing way to trippy. Like, but wouldn't that be that would make me interested to watch it, because I would love that detail of like piecing together the timeline of like it's all happening at the same time, but everyone has their own stories going on. That's how I think Hallmark should do one of those movies. But like I said, if that happens, I said it here first, and I want royalties.
I just think this whole the whole, like, if you would have said to me, Tom, write a Disney World Hallmark movie, I'd be like, okay. Yeah. I mean, it would be similar to this. It would somehow the magic of Disney and a wish bring two people together, right? Like that's what's it is. But
the hard part for me is that 90s shows that had Disney episodes have ruined this for me. All I can think of when they said this was happening, I just kept replaying the Full House episode in my head when they went to Disney World, right?
Yes.
Which somebody pointed out that the feasibility of what they did in that episode is actually impossible. Because they were like in Epcot, and then they were at the Grand Floridian, and then they like all these things happened that are just like, there's no way that this would have all happened in a day kind of thing. So, but yeah.
I mean, listen, and you got Stamos is obsessed with Disney. So there's that. But I always think of, I don't know why, maybe this was like around that same time. I just always think of like all of the shows, like Boy Meets World did it. I mean, got all the 90s shows did it, right? It was every single one of them.
There was some kind of Boy Meets World did it. Full House did it. There was a whole list of them. I don't want to say Family Matters didn't do that, did they? Maybe they did.
I think anything that was on ABC like just had to.
Yeah, I know. I know. Golden Girls mentioned it. There was like they did a. I remember again. Golden Girls is baked in my head for some reason too. I don't know why, but there was one episode where at the very end, like they were talking about going to Disney World, and then the final scene is the Star Tunnel in Space Mountain, and it's like a voiceover of like it was Sophia and Dorothy, I think, were like kind of talking back and forth like they were on the ride, but they didn't actually like film there, but they like worked it into the episode, because Golden Girls was very much like an ABC show, and like they had like the house on the back lot and everything on the back lot tour.
Oh yeah.
So sorry, that again, like there's like there's so many like Disney World references in those 90s shows that I always also remember the Kokomo video for Beach Boys, which they did at the Grand Floridian with John Stamos in it. You remember that? Yeah, I remember that.
I used to see that video all the time. And I didn't know until like I was an adult that was at the Grand Floridian.
It didn't, because it didn't see like, I mean, because what they're singing about, was like Kokomo, which was very tropical, but you don't like. You automatically assume that they're like somewhere in like Bermuda or somewhere
because they say Bermuda in the song.
It's the first word in the song, but that's a funny one too. But yeah, so this Hallmark film, I hope the one thing I hope for it is that I hope it's good enough or bad enough that it kind of gets cemented in, like, even if it's a bad Christmas movie, that it's something that, you know, kind of like we're talking about now with like all these like shows that have like Disney episodes, that it gets cemented somewhere as like, oh, you know, that Hallmark Disney Christmas movie, right? Like,
yeah.
I hope that happens to it. But you know, the storyline sounds as fantastic as I expected it to be from what you said. And, yeah.
Sorry, can't talk now. Watching the Beach Boys Kokomo video with the Crevler in the background. Where's Stamos in this one, though? Do I have the wrong one? Because Stamos is definitely in it. Where is he?
Maybe he's later in it?
I don't know. Maybe. I remember distinctly.
Okay, well, you can continue.
Oh,
watching
there he is. Wearing a pink tank top. It's great. Oh, okay.
Boy.
I don't know what's happening this episode, but
we're just squirrely. I feel like because of your trip and everything, like last week we were kind of decompressing from that, and I feel like we've had a lot of pent up
it's
conversation.
Silliness. Yeah, just some silliness there. Yeah. Well, listen, I wanted to talk about some holiday gifts, Trevor, because
let's go through these.
Yeah, because there's a lot of holiday gift guides that Disney put out, and we're not going to go through all of it. We're going to go through these, and we're going to pick out the ones that we like the best. Now, the first one I have on here is stocking stuffers, Trevor, and I'm just looking through here. There's not a lot I'm loving. I will say the one thing that caught my eye, and I think it's on this one, is the oh yeah, there it is, the Mickey Mouse Holiday Gibbets by Crocs, which are those little things you stick in the hole of Crocs. So my daughter she has Crocs and she loves them, and she likes to accessorize them and put different things in here. And this is like a little 5-pack holiday set of holiday. It's got, Santa Mickey and Minnie with a scarf, a peppermint Mickey ear, Pluto with reindeer ears, and Goofy wearing like a little hat. And man, I gotta get this for my kid. But the other one that came up too is this Chip Santa donut keychain where Chip has a mustache.
Wait, he has a mustache? How did I miss that?
He has a white mustache. It's gigantic. It covers his whole face. You barely even know it's Chip.
Oh yeah. Well, okay. That tracks with when they were in the tree. And they weren't in the tree. It was the candles on the. Sorry, I'm remembering a very specific episode where Mickey and Pluto cut down a tree, and it's Chip and Dale's tree, and they're decorating it, and Chip and Dale are in the house, and then at one point they're on the mantle, and they're lighting Mickey's lighting the candles, and I think it's Dale has the Santa hat on, but he's got like the beard and everything. That's what this is looking like to me. And I know that's like a very specific reference, but
it is.
Sorry, my head goes like that sometimes. I have like weird stuff committed in my memory. But that's what that looks like to me, is that it's like that like scene, but like stuck through a donut, which again is weird, I will admit.
Yeah.
But this is also in Disney Store Japan, it says, which I mean, all bets are off with Japan stuff because they do their own thing.
Yeah. Well, the other thing that got me too, though, Trevor, the last one I have here is the Darth Vader Tamagotchi.
Yeah.
So
why wouldn't you want a Darth Vader Tamagotchi?
I just have questions. That's all. First of all, I knew that Tamagotchis were a thing again, because they were a thing when I was a kid. But I thought they like updated them. Like it's the same exact screen and graphics from when we were kids, which actually kind of makes me happy, to be honest with you. I kind of like it. But also I'm thinking to myself, what are you doing with a Darth Vader one? Are you like feeding him? Like, what
I mean, he has like a feeding tube. So
yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, how are you feeding him? Like, what are you trying to keep Darth Vader alive? Maybe, is that really a thing that you should even want to do?
Maybe you're zapping him with Force lightning.
Just okay. I mean, I guess
like the Emperor did.
Yeah.
Maybe it has a little, like every time you hit the button, it's like, do it.
that's concerning. Oh my God.
I got one on this list. I want to nominate as the weirdest thing that they put on this list.
Okay. Yeah.
Is the Tweezerman Disney The Aristocats manicure kit.
Okay.
Because it's literally just like nail clippers and a couple of files. And it's such a weird, like, I know it's stocking stuffers, but it's just weird that like they're displaying all these other things. And then it's like a set of nail clippers, which they have the Disney logo on them, but it's still weird to me.
I feel you on that one. That one's a little odd. That one's a little, yeah. I'm with you. Okay. What else we got here?
So, okay, that's the first one.
That's the stocking stuffers. Yeah.
Let's go into the Home Alone one.
Okay. I really like this stuff. I'm not going to lie. This stuff is pretty cool.
Yeah.
First of all, I mean, I might like all of these things. I really like this mug that they have. I have wanted this Lego set.
Cartoon versions of the Wet Bandits on it. Yeah.
Yeah. Although they did Joe Pesci dirty, man. They made him like gigantic. Like, what is that all about?
It's the juxtaposition of the tall guy and the short guy.
I get it, but I mean,
artistic choice. Yeah,
Pesci was a little chubby in that movie, but he didn't look like that. But I've wanted this Lego set for like a really long time. Actually, I haven't got it because I don't know where I would put it. But it is a pretty cool Lego set. I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, which is just the McAllister house. It's the McAllister house and also the tree house in the backyard. But I think that one's pretty cool.
And the van. They got the van too.
They got the van. Yeah.
Yeah.
They've got some cool shirts, which I like. They have a lovely cheese pizza just for me. Merry Christmas, you filthy animal, and eating junk and watching rubbish.
Yeah, the shirts are probably my favorite, or the thing I would most likely go for on this list, because I do like a good like reference shirt, right? It's not like overtly like having the logo, but it's like you get the joke, right?
This is Trevor. I think I've talked about this before. I will not buy a shirt if it says the thing that it's referencing on the shirt, right?
Yeah.
Like, I don't want that. I want you to have to look at my shirt and figure out what it's referencing, right?
And if you don't get it, then move on. But if you get it, then we're cool.
Exactly, right? Like, I have a Stranger Things shirt that doesn't say Stranger Things on it anywhere, right? Like, you just have to get it. You know?
I have one that has it says Hawkins, like it shows Hawkins, and it's written in like an Atari logo, and then it says like waffles and adventure underneath, and that's all it says. And it's like,
I have one that says Hawkins AV Club, right? Like, or Hawkins High School AV Club, right? And again, if you don't know, you don't know, and that's fine. But see, that's why I like this other one too, Trevor. They have a Little Nero's Pizza one too, that actually has a phone number on it too, which I think is great. I love that. Like, no, there's no Home Alone mentioned on anywhere. Little Nero's Pizza. That's it.
It's in universe references, right?
I love
like And I do have to say that the other thing that surprised me on this list too is these lounge fly bags.
Oh, they're very cool.
I like the one bag. It has like the 8-bit designs of the characters on it, and then the other one it almost looks like Peanuts. Right, like Charlie Brown type of animation.
It's that style. Yeah.
Which I think those are very cool. Like it's a cool way to like, take the Home Alone IP and they're twisting it around and making it appealing to a much wider crowd, I think. Although the one thing I wish though is that these things are Loungefly made a choice with them. I actually wish I could see these on other merch, like this kind of stuff on t-shirts and stuff would have been very cool as well.
Yeah. It's also another good reminder that Disney owns everything.
I forgot how much Home Alone was their thing, because it was done under Touchstone, right?
No, this was a 20th Century Fox one, I think.
Was it? I thought.
Yeah,
this was sworn it was a Touchstone.
This was This was one they acquired.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So
I guess that line's blurring for me. I forget who owned what back in the 90s.
It was 20th Century Fox back in the day. So so now Disney owns that. So crazy. I mean, I would love to know how many holiday movies overall Disney owns, but that's a topic for another podcast. So okay, so these were cool. We also got some action figures, Trevor.
All right.
I'm not a big action figure guy. Even when I was a kid, I was not really into action figures. I was more into Legos and Connects and like building stuff. I wasn't into like, take two action figures, like fight them against each other. I wasn't into that.
I was I was into play sets. So like I had like He-Man play sets and stuff, but I was less interested in the action figures and more interested in the mechanical pieces of it. So like I had like Castle Grayskull, and it had like there was like a little microphone thing in it, and like you could make it talk and all that, which was very fascinating. And then, like some of the characters had like, you push like a button and things would like flip around. Like I think there was like a He-Man where like he would get like damage across his chest, and there's like a little spring loaded thing that would flip around. So okay, I get you. Cool. Like these action figures are like, they're cool display pieces. So like, looking at, these Spider-Man ones, there's a Spider-Man and Venom one, which looks very, very intricate. And the only thing that I don't like about it is that it looks too fancy to play with. And that's kind of my problem with action figures. Yeah. And I don't like that. But then
I want to play with things.
Yeah. This action figure set is cool. I like the classic, or it's like the 1967 Spider-Man characters. Yeah. So like it's Spider-Man and Green Goblin and Electro.
It's in that style. It's in like the comic book style. Yeah. That's cool.
And then, and then we got some Star Wars stuff too. Okay.
Yeah, there's a talking Yoda figure that you can that's an animatronic figure you can like talk to and stuff. I want to know though, this abomination of a droid below it though, the Star
R2
Wars
unit?
The Black. Yeah, what is going on there?
So it says Black Series Astromech Droid Holiday Edition, and it's a R2 unit with a Santa hat, and it's painted in Santa colors. That one, I'm not a fan of that one, but I have to say the Holiday Edition Stormtrooper is hilarious.
The reindeer Stormtrooper,
I love that. That is so funny.
Yeah, for some reason there's porgs with it too. I don't know why there'd be porgs with it, but there are.
They're not regular porgs either. They're Christmas porgs. One's ice and one's like a Santa porg, or not Santa porg. It's like a snowman porg. He's got like the snowman.
Porg,
but yeah.
What is going on?
And just a reindeer stormtrooper is so funny. Like I wouldn't be surprised if you see somebody cosplay this at a convention, and I would like love it if I saw that.
Yeah.
Like it's in that realm. It feels like, you see like crazy cosplay sometimes of like, twisted characters. That's what this feels like to me.
The only, I agree with you. The only other one that I want to highlight, Trevor, is all the way at the bottom. For some reason we have, I don't know, Goth Woody. I don't know what's going on here. Like, what is why is Woody dressed in in black and white? What is happening here?
It says black tie action figure set, which I don't. So,
but why? Like, just why?
Okay, that's so it says dress your toys to impress with the 30th anniversary of Disney and Pixar's Toy Story with the Toy Story black tie action figure set. So it's probably meant to be like, they're celebrating their 30th anniversary. So they're dressing fancy, but it's weird because like Buzz has a tie on and Jessie is dressed like, she's
a little different, but
got some like dazzly stuff going on. Woody, like you said, it's the full, like they could have just done the black tie with him, but the fact that it's like full, like, I guess it's supposed to be like a black tuxedo.
Yeah, it's supposed to be a tuxedo. I get it, but it's like, it's weird.
Yeah. Like I said, if you missed the tie, it looks like Goth Woody.
Yeah, it's like, what are you doing? And I mean, Buzz is literally exactly the same. They just threw a bow tie on him. Like, why?
I actually like I like, and I'm surprised we haven't seen this up until now, is the Rocket Rescue Buzz Lightyear.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Character. That's funny too. That like you don't really think about that as like a play piece where like, him with the rocket strapped to his back.
Yeah, absolutely. All right. Well, I think that's enough of holiday gifts for now, right?
Good stuff. Good. There is some good stuff out there, but we do have a couple more things here. I know we went way longer than we thought
it's okay.
But,
so really quickly, I'm just want to. So I have a couple Disneyland Paris items on here. I just wanted to have this on here so I can yell about the fact that they're doing. They have 2 new drone shows coming to Disneyland Paris, including one that has water drones. What is? I don't even know what that means.
What's a water drone?
I don't know. It says revolutionary new air and sea drones. What?
Oh, are they like in the water doing the drone stuff, but under like?
But why do you need a drone for that?
But because so here's the thing is that you can have lighting underwater, but then being able to reposition it and whatnot, like
they can like come up from the water or something, like,
or I would assume that they're like little like submarine drones, and so they can move around and do the drone stuff that you see in the air, but doing it underwater would like that's interesting.
I mean, I see these little globe things. It looks just like they're like on little RC boats. Is that what they're trying to call a water drone? I don't know.
Yeah. I was thinking like fully underwater, but maybe that's not feasible.
Or maybe they do go maybe they do. I don't know. I don't have more details on this, but I'm just annoyed because once again, Disneyland Paris is getting not only an Avatar show, but getting another drone show that has revolutionary new
stuff that Tom doesn't get to enjoy.
I just want to have at Disney World. Is that so much to ask? I don't feel like it is. All right.
Yeah,
but
we haven't even gotten a single drone show yet, and they're already doing Avatar drone shows.
Well, no, there was the drone show at Disney Springs. So
no.
Doesn't count. Doesn't count. Yeah, doesn't.
Needs to be in the. I think it needs to be in the parks because that was Disney Springs stuff is like that's like a testing bed. It's not a. Yeah.
To be fair, I'm pretty sure that the drone company that Disney is heavily invested in is based out of Paris, I believe, or based out of France. So that could be part of the reason, but they also have an office in Orlando. I know that's true too. So get it done, Disney. Come on. You're doing it everywhere else. Okay.
You need to start sending them letters. You know,
send
it to their Orlando office and be like, so when are you doing it?
I have a podcast to complain about this, though. You want me to write a letter like I don't know.
Writing a letter is so like it's so old school. But I feel like if you took the time to write a letter, I feel like they would take it seriously because
my grandmother wrote my wife a letter in response to a Facebook post. Instead of replying on Facebook, she wrote her a letter. And that's what every time I think about writing a letter, that's what I think about.
It's being scolded by your elders for something.
No, it was a good thing. It was she was praising her. It was just weird that she responded to a Facebook post.
My bad. I assume responses on Facebook a lot of times are negative. I shouldn't assume that, but yeah.
Assume positivity, Trevor. Let's talk about Disneyland. Let's talk about Disneyland. 70th anniversary Disneyland, which means there's some merch for the 70th anniversary, Trevor.
Yeah. And I could have sworn
we did talk about it before.
We have looked at this before, but so they've added to it.
Yes.
I'm scrolling through the list here to see if there's anything that stands out to me.
I do like these old school shirts that they have that are very I don't even know. Would you call those 60s maybe? Is that 60s version of Mickey Mouse?
The ones where like the one where he's got like the weird eyes and stuff like that.
Yeah, it's a second item on here. There's there's two sweatshirts basically, and they have the old school Disneyland logo on there, and the older version of the characters. But I don't know when that. I mean, I'm assuming if it's 70th anniversary, it's probably 50s, right? It's probably from when Disneyland opened, right? But
is it really that old? Because I could have sworn that I saw character designs like that in the 80s.
Yeah, that's what I was questioning myself, Trevor. But it wouldn't make sense to do a 70th anniversary if you're not going to do, from the time period, right?
I guess, but they could also be doing like throughout Disney history, like picking and choosing, pieces from different eras. That's my thought, but. I guess it's hard because like I will admit I don't have like a ton of in-depth knowledge about all the different phases of Disney stuff, but like looking at this though, I'm seeing this further down is that there is some stuff that it looks closer to like the 80s and 90s Disney stuff that I remember, but then those ones you're talking about are probably more like 50s 60s kind of era. And then, there was one here the one I was talking about, there was one picture, it's about like halfway down where it's somebody this lady wearing a red jacket and she has a Disney, or you can see like the Mickey face underneath, but he's like spaced out.
Where's that one? Is that one we talked about? Is that from earlier this year?
Maybe it's the Castle collection. If you go down to the Castle collection, there's one picture there that is just like, yeah, Mickey looks a little strung out.
Okay, I see it. Okay, but
you see what I'm talking about.
We talked about that one, all the way back in when was that? April? It's saying, April. This was April. Whew. Okay, so
that's why I'm remembering this. We talked about it earlier this year, but I guess they're just rehashing that.
They just keep releasing new stuff throughout the year. So.
Yeah. Okay.
I actually think we should end it there, Trevor. I think we should end it there. I think that's a good place to stop. We did have a Disneyland calendar of events, but it's just reading off events. Who wants to do that? So I think we've covered it all today. I think we covered it all. Who knows? There could have been stuff we didn't talk about.
We covered stuff we didn't even expect to cover. So I think we covered.
It was one of those episodes, which I feels like all the episodes these days, but which is fine. We like doing that. So let's wrap her up.
All right. So. I guess if you have any questions about anything we talked about on the show, or comments, or any any of your own rabbit holes, because apparently this show is full of rabbit holes.
We love hearing about that. Yeah, tell us.
Yeah, you can always send your comments about that to welcomehomepodcast@gmail.com. We love hearing from you guys and hearing what you think about what we're doing. And you can also find us on social media. So you can find us on Facebook as Welcome Home Podcast. You can find us on YouTube as Welcome Home Podcast. You can find us on Instagram as Welcome Home Pics. And you can also check out our Facebook group, Welcome Home Disney Waitlist, and, get in on conversations about stuff from the show, and, sharing your own Disney experiences and trips. Shout out to our listeners that, go into the Facebook group and, you post your own trips and whatnot. Love seeing that stuff. Love that we're all just sharing our Disney experiences, and that's really all it should be about. So, keep that stuff coming. And then if you want to help support the show, you can go to store.welcomehomepodcast.co. You can check out some of our different merch there. Maybe if you want a last minute stocking stuffer for somebody, I don't know. And then we also have a Patreon. So you can go to patreon.com/welcomehomepod, and you can check out our different levels of Patreon support, which have an exclusive logo only available to our Patreon listeners. And all of our Patreon supporters get access to the Discord server, which, as we've talked about through the show, we have all kinds of great conversations on Discord. Sometimes we do early previews on there of things that we're working on, and just, again, more conversation about the show and about Disney, and sometimes other random topics. Maybe I don't know, maybe I'll put this out there, is we have an off-topic section in the Discord. We should maybe rename that to Rabbit Holes, because after this
Rabbit
Holes
Tangents, and
Rabbit Holes Tangents and other wild things. But like I said, we have great conversations there. So if you want to join that, check out our Patreon. And last but not least, if you're listening on iTunes or Spotify or anywhere where you can leave us 5 stars, please do so. As we talked about at the beginning of the show, appreciate the people sharing us on Spotify and whatnot, but not just Spotify. Any platform you're on. If you're listening to this, share it with your friends. It helps us get out to a bigger audience, and we enjoy seeing those numbers go up, and hopefully we can get more stats like we did from Spotify. But even if we don't, we just appreciate you guys sharing the show and continuing to listen. And if you're on iTunes, you can write us a review and let us know what you think about the show, which also we love hearing that as well.
Yeah, and the other thing you can do is not forget to subscribe. That sounds really bad. The way that it's not grammatically proper, Trevor, what I just said. But the other thing you do is don't forget to subscribe to Welcome Home Podcast, so you can be reminded every time we release a new episode. You can find us on Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music, TuneIn, Stitcher, Spotify, YouTube Music, just about any place you can find podcasts. You can find us. Just search for Welcome Home, and the one that says Disney Parks and DVC and all that fun stuff. So, please do that. If you haven't done so already, consider, another Christmas gift to me besides your 5-star review is also subscribing. So do that too. And thank you to our sponsors, DVC Resale Market, and of course, World of DVC, for sponsoring this episode, and also just being great partners over the years. Join us next time for more Disney Parks discussion. Of course, more DVC talk. We hope to see you all real soon.
This is Skipper Albert Awol, the voice of the jungle, signing off from Welcome Home Podcast on the DVC.
Do a huddle when we hit a chair. How she can cuddle is no man's affair. I looked around from pole to pole, found her in a sugar